Night, and we are back. We had a long, crazy Saturday night, wrestling and UFC fights. So, we're back to talk about Fight Night. So, I'm Lee.
I'm Fayaz.
We're the Trauma guys. We're here to talk to you a little bit about what happened in the UFC Fight Night on Fight Island. All right. So, in the first match of the main card, we had Alexander versus Askar, which was decision. It was a pretty decent fight. It was nothing that I'd write home to mom about, but
yeah. I mean, it was
a pretty decent fight, but it was pretty decent back and forth otherwise. But the second fight of that main card was awesome, even though it was not very long. It was Ariana Lipsky versus Luana Carolina.
That's right.
It was. Them girls went at it. Started out good striking. Went to the floor. We thought that girl was gonna, she hit her. She knocked her down. We thought she was gonna beat her by strikes. Then the girl on the floor, Luana, decided she was gonna try to.
She put her. Yeah. She wrapped her in a calf slicer. Remember, from behind.
Yeah.
So she puts her in a calf slicer from behind, which was completely unexpected for me because that girl is so known for her stand up, right? She puts her in a calf slicer, locks up Ariana's leg, and I guess is maybe looking to take her back or just put some pressure on that leg, try to pull her back. Well, Ariana just sits on her, grabs her other leg, and just decides, well, hey, why don't I try this? And I don't even know if she thought it was going to work. I think maybe she just thought, well, maybe she'll let go if I start yanking on her leg. Right? Because that's probably would have been my thought, Am I going to really have the leverage to do this? She pulls up her leg and she pulls it in so deep and she just starts cranking that thing. Now, one would think it wouldn't have been that effective. However, when both of your legs, when your only other leg is tied up, right, in almost a figure four position, trying to keep somebody else, and your head is backed up against the cage, right? You can't escape. You've kind of trapped yourself, right? So if she grabs the other leg and she's putting her in a knee bar, that knee bar is nasty, and you can't even push away because your bottom leg's locked up, and your head's got nowhere to go. So it was either tap or snap, and luckily she chose to tap because she had to have torn some ligaments. That was nasty.
Yeah, that was a nasty knee bar.
It was such a beautiful knee bar, but it was nasty.
Yeah, it was only 1 minute and 28 seconds into the round.
Oh my God.
Round was over.
It was amazing.
It was great. That was pretty amazing.
It was amazing.
So now we're going to go on to match number 3, which is Mark versus Rafael. And these guys are kickboxers, both of them,
right?
And they were going at it it was crazy. It was really something.
It was a good fight. I was joking all night. I was saying, fear the beard, but in the end, it was the beard you needed to fear, man, because that guy was a really solid kickboxer, man. He was more explosive. He was faster. He checked quicker. He was just beating him to the punch at everything.
Well, even the Matrix move that he did.
Yeah.
And he leaned almost all the way back to the floor and back up in the middle of the fight.
He basically, I thought he was going to, it was almost like he leaned back, kicked himself in the back of the head just to get back up again. I mean, he probably could have done that. He leaned so far back. Third round, he did start to get a little tired, right? But he had already won 2.5 rounds. About midway through the third round, he started to get a little tired. Started taking a little bit more damage, but it was too little too late by then, Maybe if that was a 5-round fight, it might have changed, but I don't think it would have because he really worked the body. He worked the legs really nice in that whole fight, and it was just a clinical display of kickboxing. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And then we get to the next 2 fights. The co-main event with Jack Hermansson and Kelvin Gastelum.
Hermansson.
Yeah, or Hermanson. That's his name. Hermanson.
Gastelum.
Excuse me. Yeah.
We heard his name a few different ways that night. Gastelum.
Gastelum. It was pronounced so many different ways. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go with that one. So Jack Hermanson and Kelvin. So Jack and Kelvin, they were going at it pretty good. It's just that Jack, man, that dude, he can take it and he can give it back. And man, he caught Kelvin and he could not get it. And what the thing was is that, you know, Kelvin's a strong guy. First, he goes to dump him. Kelvin dumps him instead, reverses him. They going through all the scramble on the floor. And he goes for a heel hook, which is something that not a lot of guys get caught in, and very few, you know, figure out a way to get out here and there. But the way he put it on and locked it on him, he wasn't going anywhere. He couldn't move to get. He caught the other leg, and his legs are so long that he kept the other leg from moving. So Kelvin couldn't go anywhere. He
couldn't escape. You know, Kelvin thought the right thing because you could see him try to turn and go with the flow of it, so that way, so he could escape. But. And I thought, and I didn't see it at first. Remember, I didn't see how he had hooked the far leg, so that he couldn't kick over to escape. And I was like, well, why didn't he keep going? Maybe it was just too tight. You know, maybe it just got locked up too tight, and he couldn't twist out of it quick enough. And then I noticed that he couldn't kick his leg over. It was trapped by Hermanson's other leg, which is just. I mean, that was just beautiful, man. I mean, Hermanson had super long legs anyway, but to utilize the other leg, so Gastelum, you know, couldn't kick out of that, was man, that's just a beautiful split of jiu-jitsu, man. You got to appreciate.
It was awesome.
You got to appreciate that from a big guy. You know what I mean? It's fun.
Just that, but being known for a guy who mainly does guillotines is what he's known for. That arm guillotine with one leg hooked, and
he tried to get that a couple times. He did try to get that a couple times.
Could not get it. But,
couldn't cinch it.
But the difference is that he went for something else. So it shows that he's not just a one-trick pony. He doesn't have just that one thing.
Yeah, he transitioned nice to that leg. Yeah, he transitioned really nice to that leg. I thought it was going to be more of a stand-up war. Well, I wasn't expecting a jiu-jitsu finish or sub-finish, whatever you guys want to call it. But I thought it was awesome, man. It's cool to see. It's cool to see middleweight, some of the heavier guys win that way, you know, because you only expect that more so in lighter divisions. So it's really cool to see that.
And then we got Joe Benavidez versus Figueroa. And now Figueroa again dominated. He just dominated this fight.
He did. So, but you know, so let's go back to let's go back to why they fought again, because you got to remember this is number 2, right? So the first time Figueroa doesn't make weight. This is for 125 pounds. I don't even know how Figueroa gets to 125 pounds. I mean, the cauliflower in his ears alone, you know, got to be 10 pounds. Like where's he cutting that weight? In either case, he didn't make the weight last time. I guess they collided heads while they were fighting. Benavidez got cut, and he just got planted. And so they gave him the fight again because nobody really truly won the belt last time, right? They gave him the fight again, and he came out, and it was kind of more the same thing. You know, Benavidez was moving. He was catching him with some strikes. Figueroa, the difference was, though, that when Figueroa hit him, you could definitely see that there was a power difference.
Yeah, that hurt him every single time.
Yeah, every single time. It wasn't just here and there. I mean, even if you could tell he wasn't throwing with, you know, full intention of trying to put Benavidez away, it still hurt him. You could just tell there was a big power difference, size and power difference there. So they go to the ground. He takes Benavidez's back. And, you know, I'm rooting for Joe Benavidez, guys. I'm rooting for him. I've been watching that guy fight for years. I've been watching him lose title fight after title fight and keep dropping in weight divisions to try to catch a belt somewhere. But it's Joe Jitsu Benavidez. We're just not going to get there. I think he's going to be that guy, man, that was always there, but just didn't quite make it. And that doesn't take anything away from what he's done, but it's he fought off one. He kept fighting off that rear naked choke. He kept fighting it, and finally Figueiredo got around, kind of at an angle, and got him. And Joe went to grab onto his arm, and he was kind of turned, and Figueiredo was choking him, and we all thought Joe was still fighting until we got that really good camera shot where his eyes were open, bloodshot red, and he wasn't moving anymore. And we all said those final two words. He's out.
Yeah.
He's out. Joe Benavidez, instead of tapping, went out on a shield, and right there, man. That's what champions are made of, anyway, man. I mean, he said, "Look, man, I'm gonna go out fighting. If I ain't gonna win, I'm gonna go out fighting. Maybe you'll get tired and you'll let go." Figueiredo didn't get tired and let go. I mean, he got caught nice and he went out. He fought it off twice. Third time he couldn't do it, man. That's okay.
No, but Joe. Somebody always has a fighter that they just can't beat. It's just to a point. It's called that unicorn. You're chasing that unicorn. That's that one thing that just keeps getting out of your reach. That you keep chasing it and it never happens for you. Just like any guys in a lot of sports, they go from team to team hoping maybe this time. But you can't always rely on that, man. You got to sometimes realize what's my strengths, where are my weaknesses, and why is it that every time I fight this guy I have struggles.
Yeah.
And where we are today when it comes down to sports is that there's a million ways to watch another guy's fight now, especially if you're famous.
Yeah.
Or you're in
True.
a major league sport. You can watch those videos, and if you're not doing that, you're not doing your due diligence to make yourself better. Just not.
And I can't say that's what Benavidez didn't do, right? Because the guy, he studied him, he did everything he needed to do to prepare for that fight.
Oh, he's not strong enough for this guy.
Yeah, the thing is, it's clearly a size difference, and everybody says, well, size shouldn't matter, especially maybe if you're on the ground, size shouldn't matter. Things this and that. People say a lot of different things, but if both of you know the same skills, size matters. I'm sorry to say, it does. Like if you and I both know how to fight, but you're 60, 70 pounds, 80 pounds, whatever it is, right? Obviously, the difference wasn't that much between those two. But you're 40, 50 pounds heavier than me. It's going to hurt more when you hit me versus me hitting you. It just is, right? I might be able to hang with you for a little bit eventually, but if I get caught too many times, it's going to affect me. If we go to the ground, obviously, your strength, if we have the same skills, is going to be a little bit more. So, and I just think that's where Benavidez lost it. I just think Figueiredo is just a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger for him. Now, I don't think it necessarily was the skill level wasn't there. I just think strength-wise, it wasn't there for Joe Benavidez versus Figueiredo. So,
right. Well, that's our Fight Night review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you got any comments, anything you want to do, please hit us up down below in the comments. Tell us what you think about it. If you disagree with us or if you agree with us. Either way, give us a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Also hit that notification button so every time we have a new video, you will know when it comes
leave a
out.
comment. Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
We are the Trauma Guys. I'm Lee.
I'm Fayaz. I'm wonderful. I'm amazing. I am awesome. I am fantastic.